Capitalism. Capitalism is one of the many things that we've been using to advance ourselves as a civilization. But how will capitalism affect the people of the future? Well, that's what Mullet Mad Jack is here to show us. In Mullet Mad Jack, you play as the average male. You live to drive, consume media, and kill whatever is in your way. The game takes place in the dark future of 2025. The world can't sit still. It has only 10 seconds of life and needs to constantly consume media to even feel something. That is where you come in. You are a moderator. And yes, a cool one. As a moderator, your job isn't to kick people out of streams, but rather kick people off the mortal plane. You live to grind, kill, and maim whatever robot stands in your way. In this world, there are only two types of people: beta robo-billionaires and sigma retro-humans. Retro-humans are humans who are able to walk and actually do things, which is kind of a rare commodity in this game. Like many other Twitch streamers, you only exist as a form of entertainment for other people. Your life is bound by a contract, one that's very sudden.
Sir, initializing our live stream show. Looking for a protagonist. Tracking. He sounds like a strong silent type.
This woman. I don't know her name, but I'll call her the marketer. The marketer gives you a phone call about a person named the social media princess. For now, we'll just call her the princess. The princess was kidnapped by a guy named Mr. Bullet. Mr. Bullet's plans will be discussed later, but for now we just gotta go get her. Why? We're gonna get a sick pair of Air Jordans if we do. This is when the game introduces you to its core mechanic: time. Just like how time is money, time is your ability to live. And unlike any other fast-paced shooter, killing enemies with normal or glory kills, drinking cola, or using the Jim Leahy doctrine, that's the only way that you can ever gain time back. When playing the game, I usually relate it to Wolfenstein with a mix of Crank. Reason I relate it a lot to Wolfenstein is because of the shootouts, both being very hard, and also being very simple if you get the gist of the game. And the reason I relate it to Crank is because of the plot device of constantly needing adrenaline to survive, and also the humor. The game is just so goofy. Mullet Mad Jack is just one of those games I really love because of the gameplay. The gameplay, the story, and the overall world that you're put in, it gives a lot of reason to things around you, which I'll explain later. But right now, we need to save a princess and get a pair of Air Jordans. This is where the floor dynamic comes in. It's very simple. I'll put up a visual. If you go up, let's say 10 floors, then that means you have a checkpoint, and whenever you die on the next floor, you're brought back to 10. But if you're on floor 9, you'll be brought back down to 0. So if you're brought to floor 10, then you're given a checkpoint, or any level that's plus 10. So that's floor 10, floor 20, floor 30, and so on. So now that we understand the rules of this tower, we know that we have to go all the way up to floor 10 to get her. Seems simple. Right? What the hell, I'll go. The tutorial of the game is very simple. Shoot robots, use environmental kills, and utilize cola machines that are everywhere. And I mean everywhere. Of course, after we're done with that, we're introduced to the glory kill. Now, glory kills in the game are different. Glory kills are if you have a single knife or a single object that you pick up, just press right click and you'll get all of your life back. I highly recommend you save your glory kill till later on in the level, which I mean, with how this game is supposed to be played, it is just spamming your keyboard until you get to the other side of the map. That's another thing about all the levels: speed. Speed and ferocity. Just keep running. Don't get objects that allow you to see through walls, don't do any of that. I beat my entire first playthrough with a katana. A katana that you're able to throw and it'll come back at you like Thor's hammer. Which also brings up another thing: the weapons. Weapons in this game can be absolutely insane, especially with the selection that you have. The first weapon that you ever have access to is the revolver. Trash. Stupid. Don't ever use it. The submachine gun. Very good. Low ammo capacity, but high rate of fire. Very good in order to clear out crowds or hallways. The nonsensical shotgun. It is incredibly good. And then there are two weapons which I will never ever touch. no matter what or no matter who convinces me. The railgun and the plasma gun. The railgun is an instant kill on anything, but the only issue is that it needs a charge up. And in a world where time is literally your will to live, that is not a good thing. And the plasma gun is a horrible choice, as it's full auto, but it slows you down. It slows you down incredibly fast, especially with the infinite ammo upgrade. But there's a secret weapon in the game that I never thought I'd actually get until I looked at the advertisements. The assault rifle. The assault rifle shoots explosive bullets, and the only way you can obtain it is by doing the unboxing minigame. It took me a total of 2 minutes to complete. But overall, in terms of weapon, the assault rifle isn't the good way to go. There are only 3 weapons I could ever really use in this run. The shotgun, the submachine gun, and the katana. All of the weapons have their pros and cons in the game. The shotgun, although nonsensical, has an incredibly big spread. This game is the only one where spread actually matters, since stray bullets can be your savior. The submachine gun has a low ammo capacity, but it has a high rate of fire. And lastly, like I said before, the katana, you can throw it and it'll come back. Any strike is an instant kill, unless it's a shielded enemy. And you can just spam the entire level with the katana. I have the footage to prove it. And I know it's an indie developer, and I have no problem with that. The entire game is supposed to be very fast, fun, and definitely not educational. With the ranking list of weapons I already set up, you can cheese the game with all of them. The shotgun, you can just blow people's faces away. The submachine gun, you can spray and pray. And the katana is very simple. You spam your spacebar and shift key while destroying your mouse. But let's get to the better part about the weapon system. Upgrades. Upgrades in the game are super reliable, especially whenever you're dealing with large groups of enemies. Upgrades range from infinite ammo, stronger weapons. Although I didn't get every single upgrade in the game, I highly recommend you use the shotgun or the katana. The shotgun's upgrades are very plain and simple. A double barrel add-on that allows you to have infinite ammo. And lastly, stacking shells. The stacking shell ability is very simple. Reload your gun, you get 2 extra shells. Do it again, you get more. The max is 4. It multiplies your damage every time you reload. The fully loaded shotgun, speed upgrades, and a hammer can bring you a long way. Another very good weapon that you can use with upgrades is the katana. The katana also has 2 other upgrades, the heated blade and the glory kill. Heated blade does more damage, and the glory kill gives you an instant glory kill each floor. And then there's normal upgrades. The normal upgrades can be very useful in combat. There's a speed upgrade and ability that makes you go akimbo and also makes you temporarily immortal. Colas that were made in Ireland. And there's even an ability that makes you smell so bad that it kills people. And there are so many upgrades that I can't even talk about since I don't have the footage for them. And now that we got our weapons and gear, we gotta see who we're fighting. Let's go. The enemies in Mullet Mad Jack are varied. We have the Vice robots, which are the normal enemies. We have robots that shoot lasers at you while hanging from the wall or ceiling. Robots that will bum rush you and ruin your aim. And even robots armed with shotguns. There are also enemies that use shields. And even enemies with chainsaws for hands. Of course, with enemies there are also bosses. These bosses are named Robo-Billionaires. Robo-Billionaires are just super rich robots. So rich that they are able to jam their organs into a vending machine, or into the wall of flesh from Terraria. All of the Robo-Billionaires have attacks and abilities that are unique to them and them only. The first one we face off against is this guy. He releases shockwaves of energy that can drain your health, and he rams into walls. Just shoot the swords on him and then you can kill him. Then there's Chainsaw Boy. Chainsaw Boy will just constantly tweak out, jumping at you, throwing slashes whenever he can, and even trying to get up close and personal every single time you land on the ground. With the right weapon and upgrades, you can throw this man around like a Stretch Armstrong. But hey, now that we're on floor 30, we can finally... Wait a minute.
Hello there, retro human! You really need some new shoes, don't ya? I'm not the girl that you expected. I'm not cute enough. Watch out, retro human! We are the AI future, and all you guys cheer for.
Yeah, anyway. Spanish or English? Then on the third level, there are snipers. Easiest way to kill the snipers is to follow the lasers. If you do, you can find them and then shoot them. Remember to always stay zoomed in with your scope. To explain it very bluntly, just stay zoomed in and you won't have a hard time searching for the lasers. And this is when our first encounter with Mr. Bullet comes in.
And what are you doing this for again? A stupid pair of shoes?
Putting it simply, he wants hoo-ha blood so that he can summon God. And we definitely don't want that happening. After getting shot in the head, the marketer, gives us a new opportunity. Because our viewership is so high and because getting shot in the head is a no-no, she shoots our brain up with a copy of Bonzi Buddy to constantly keep us entertained and wish us back to life. How does it work? I don't know, but we're back. We can finally continue with the constant task of running upstairs. On the 40th floor, we fight off against a guy named Samurai. He puts us in an RPG style battle, and it's just press the fight button, press item again, and then press fight again. He's invincible until you get him with an execution. Since you aren't given a weapon in this section, you have to constantly run around breaking these glass cubicles, grabbing a weapon, and then performing a glory kill. This does a little bit of damage, but you have to do 3 or 4 in order to kill him. After a fight with Samurai, we finally get introduced to lasers. Lasers are one of the last obstacles that we'll ever have to face during the game, besides running on billboards. And lasers can be an absolute pain if you aren't careful, because every time you dash, you have a chance of running into a laser and getting rid of over like 6 seconds on your life. So with lasers, you just have to be really careful. Another 10 floors, I don't know. Ooh, a vending machine. Oh, thank goodness, I was getting really thirsty. This is the Robot Hunter. The Robot Hunter is a robot inside of a vending machine. He drops mines, which can be a really, really big pain. So just be sure to dodge them, keep your distance, and don't get too close. Now, finally, after 84 floors, after 84 levels of hurt, we are finally here. Mr. Bullet. Before I get on with the fight, I have to admit, the guy who plays Mr. Bullet is an incredible voice actor. I'll get to that after the fight. I've tried beating Mr. Bullet about 5 times, and it's because I always change my weapon. But since I had the shotgun, I'm sticking with it.
The ritual is over! I tried everything! There is nothing beyond! We did all possible sigil combinations with her virgin blood. No demons, no angels. This means one thing now. Billionaires like me are the only gods!
The fight will be hard, but like one wise woman once said, clear your mind of all earthly thoughts, and the heat won't be so bad.
Prepare to die! Now be a good boy. It's not...
After the fight, we grab the princess and jump off the roof, which is when the marketer gives us a tutorial on how to pray, which she covers up as an advertisement, which is when we technically win the game, but it's the post-credit sequence that actually matters. After getting in the whip, we finally hit the road, as the chapter implies. That's when Mr. Bullet reveals himself as not dead. He sends out rich robots in Cadillacs to try and kill us, which you have to drive out of the way of the corpses or it will damage your car. During the fight, we have an infinite ammo revolver, but the princess just so happens to hand us weapons that we've had in the back of our car. We use the array of armaments to shoot down Mr. Bullet, using the railgun to destroy the shield, and using a MAC-10 to shoot down rockets. If that's not cool, I don't know what is. After the absolute hellstorm of rockets, the princess takes the wheel and tells us to get in the back on a weapon that we just so happen to have. A literal minigun built into the back of our car. We use said gun to shoot down Mr. Bullet, and he comes tumbling down, which is when we're given one of my favorite monologues in this entire game.
Dying. Everything is turning to black. There is no light. There's nothing. I win. There's no God.
There is no God in your...
After a long and grueling mission, we can finally have a moment of rest. After our moment of rest, we can finally go and get our new releases. This is when the game starts to feel off. The end of the game. And after a taste of the endless mode, you walk down those hallways and you're finally met with the one person who had led you this entire time, the one that brought you back for the sake of profit, the marketer. And she goes on a long monologue, but for the sake of time, I'll just cut it down to the good parts.
Like a robot that needs pings of electricity every moment to function, you need that sweet dopamine. In the last 200 years, we have disposed the common people of any sense of meaning. Propriety, land, ideology. You lost all those things with little promises of becoming rich fast. Desperate to find any sense of meaning. Like a robot, we programmed you to seek that meaning in some stupid shoes.
Goddamn right.
Then the robots came. We promised you a better future with robots, and you loved them. For a time. With all the work made by AI, we truly made all men equals. Empty vessels of endless entertainment. The lie that maybe you will find meaning and purpose in the next show, the next game, the next life. So full of urgency, so full of suffering, natural sensations, purpose, meaning. So now, slave, I will make you my boyfriend.
Jackpot!
I always wanted a strong, silent type. You will be trapped here in an endless cycle of love.
I've done worse.
To finally pick your prize, just check this box. Go ahead. You can finally pick your prize. To prove that you are not my slave, just check the box.
And just like that, we're left with one question. Are we robots, or are we human? Is the menial everyday tasks that we do turn us into robots? Do we just become mindless sacks of flesh that just wander the earth, wanting something to do, longing for something? No, I downloaded the game because it looked cool. No, but seriously, this game was developed by a really small group of people, and they put a lot of work into it. The game was fun, it was fast-paced, it's a good shooter. The only thing is, I wish for more. I really thought I'd have to go to floor 100, or to the tower next to it to get the true ending of like 200 floors. But even if that's not the case, it's a really good game and I highly recommend you buy it. That's all from me, and my chair is holding on to dear life.